Fancy. Welcome back, everybody. Episode 7 of the Gluten Power Hour, the Semolina Sit Down. How you feeling today, buddy?
Feeling a little nervous today. I took too many notes.
Yeah.
Let's see how that goes.
Yeah. Start it up.
Welcome to FancyBread. I'm Adrian.
I'm Ed.
And today we're finally going to tackle the question long. Is a service charge a tip or a fee? And also, we want to dive into the top 100 independent restaurants in the U.S. list.
Right.
You ready for into this?
Was born ready, baby.
Perfect. Now, in the top 100, I want to go something very simple. The who, what, when, where, how, and more importantly, why does it matter? So let's start with what. What is the top 100 list? Well,
It's the top independently grossing restaurants in the country.
exactly. Now, what is calculated in this list? Now, they calculate all food, alcohol, service charges, and every other mandatory fees in that restaurant.
Gross revenue.
Correct. Gross revenue. What is not calculated, right, is tips, i.e. voluntarily gratuities, profits, overhead, and everything else in between. Payroll, rent, expenses, margins, all that stuff. None of that is here. One number only. The total money collected by the restaurant.
Uh-huh.
Now, let's go into who. Who manages this list? You know?
I've never known exactly who
It's
manages it.
Restaurant Business. It's a magazine or editorial that's been operating since the 1970s. They had over 40 years doing this list, and you don't get anywhere by guessing. This is one of the most respectable reports throughout the year, and it's read mostly by owners, operators, investors, landlords, and lenders. Now, who participates in this list?
Independent restaurants.
Independent restaurants, I guess, yeah. Unfortunately, you can't have more than 5 restaurants. So if you have a chain restaurant with more than 5, you just can't participate. That's why you won't see McDonald's in here, Burger King here, Chili's, all of those other places. You're not going to see them here, although they actually make a pretty good money, obviously, as a chain. But individually, all these restaurants, even though they might have 2 or 3 locations, they're all ranked individually.
Yeah.
Right? So who doesn't appear on this list?
Tell
Now,
us.
other than the people that who don't qualify to be in the top 100, there's a lot of restaurants out there that actually would qualify, but they actually choose not to participate, right? Now, this comes because, obviously, there's a lot of things over there, right? Some people want exposure. Some people don't want the exposure.
Maybe some people didn't have a banner year. And they're
Exactly.
like,
I mean, it's a lot, but some places actually do have a bit of a complex ownerships or exclusivity. So some restaurants actually don't care about the list because they actually want to keep it hush-hush, right?
yeah.
So,
I mean, let's be honest. A lot of restaurants are drug fronts, and they don't want to. They want to keep that off of the books.
exactly. So not being on the list doesn't mean you're not killing it. It just means you choose not to play.
Yeah.
All right. So let's keep that into consideration as we go next. Now, when is this? Now, this is done once per year, right? And it's usually after the summer. So it usually comes out around August or September. And they do so using last year numbers. So if you go to their website and check it out, you're going to see, even though it says 2025, it's last year's numbers.
Yeah.
So sometimes, depending on what you're trying to use this list for, not necessarily the best indicator, right? You're going to have to do a lot of guessings. Now, finally, how is this calculated? Do you happen to know how this is calculated?
Tell us, please.
So they actually survey restaurants directly. Now, a lot of these restaurants are actually self-reported numbers. And we're going to be showing you some over here so that you can kind of catch those. If they have round numbers, they're probably self-reported. However, again, this magazine or this report, they do their homework. So if a restaurant doesn't report,
They can estimate.
they can estimate.
Yeah.
And they have their ways about doing so. And again, if a restaurant doesn't want to participate, they will do so as well.
Yeah.
Now, where does Miami rank in this list? Did you happen to know?
What do you mean by that?
Well,
Like an average of
an average of restaurants.
how many restaurants
in
are
Miami,
on there? How
does
high
the
they
average
are?
compare to other places in the country?
Other states?
Correct.
Is it like, okay, I'd say relatively high.
Relatively high. So Miami
Very
ranks
high.
number 1 in 2025, having 11 restaurants from Miami, not Florida, from Miami in that list. So Miami is actually, taking that direction. I just want to have something here. Having that 11 restaurants. Now, the top states by presence following up: New York, California, Nevada. I said Nevada. Nevada.
It's okay.
Illinois.
Nevada,
which that was
whatever.
a surprise. I understand that Chicago, Illinois has a big steakhouse, and that's why they
Chicago's big, yeah.
scenes. Yeah, so they were there and finishing up with Texas as well.
Right.
So, again, this just kind of gives you an idea as to why. Because tourism, heavy markets, high checks average, large dining, expense accounts, celebration. Simply, if you go where these go, that's where the money's at. And that's kind of like what these people who read that report are looking into. Where's the money going? Where's people going? Where should I invest my money? Where am I going to build a restaurant? Those trends, how are they going? Anyone you want to touch into that?
Yeah. How much does this top 100 list matter?
That's why I was going to go into. Why does it matter? Now, why does it matter for the industry? It sets benchmarks for volume and pricing. That is the first thing. Because everyone that has a restaurant might be looking into these restaurants and saying, how much are they charging for alcohol? How much are they charging for the crab cake? How much are they charging for a fillet, for a ribeye? It sets the standard for what the industry is going to follow after. That's why it matters the most. Influencers, investors, blah, blah, blah.
I would say
Go for it.
what the biggest effect it actually has is bragging rights in the industry.
That too.
That's kind of it. Like, I've never met a civilian, and by a civilian, I mean someone who doesn't work in the industry, say, well, I'm going to this 12th ranked, independently ranked restaurant on the list.
No.
Like, they don't talk, people don't talk
Nope.
like that.
Something very
No,
important.
they
This
don't talk
list
like that.
does not measure quality, service.
Quite
None of that
literally,
stuff.
only measures
Simply
quantity.
the number that you made throughout the year. That's
Right.
it. And honestly, like I mentioned, it changes the ecosystem of the industry.
I'll tell you this.
Go for
Let's get very plain. Okay.
Go ahead.
I've been to 6 restaurants on this year's top 100 list.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4 of them are in Miami, and 2 of them are not. So the 6 restaurants that I've been to that are on the list are Mila in Miami, sucks, absolutely sucks. Makoto does not suck. Makoto is very good. Delilah sucks.
Really? I've never been. That's the one. I haven't been the other one.
Sucks. Pastis in Wynwood, very good.
Very good.
Very good.
Very good. Thank you.
And then the other 2, one of them is in Chicago. It's called Gibson's. It's in the Viagra Triangle. Close.
Viagra Triangle? Is that
It's
a
called,
thing?
it's called the Viagra Triangle, yeah.
Please explain that.
It's called the Viagra Triangle because the restaurants in that surrounding area are where older men take their mistresses. So it's called the Viagra Triangle.
Good to know.
Gibson's is an old school steakhouse. A lot of fun. And then there's a place called Barclay Prime in Philadelphia. It's a steakhouse. Sucks. So, hey, listen, you could have different opinions, right, than I do. But all I'm saying is these 6 restaurants that I've been to that are on the list, most of them suck, okay? So it goes to show you, on the list has nothing to do with quality. It has everything to do with quantity. These people have found a formula. They sell a lot of shit, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they have good shit.
Yeah.
That's just FYI.
I see somebody says here, love Makoto. Makoto's really nice. I love this fish. But you know what sucks in Makoto? Their apps. It's like I can't find the app that speaks to me.
Well, they sell a lot of main courses, bro. That shit is up there on the list. I'll tell you that much.
It goes to tell you because Makoto in particularly is in a great location.
Yeah,
Bar
Bar
Harbor shop.
Yeah.
So
Bougie as all fuck.
bougie as you can imagine. I checked the list, and on the Miami ones, I went to 8 of them. And I would say that in all of them, I found something that I liked and something that I didn't like. Price probably being one of them, but definitely something I like. Now, I wanted to mention this list again. We're going back to that why it matters. Why it matters to a guest. Well, these restaurants, they set the expectations. They normalize service charges. They influence prices across the city. They shape what good service looks like. And then finally, they decide whether tipping is optional or replaced.
So dramatic.
Yeah,
It's so dramatic.
yeah. In the end, when That's fine. In the end, it's the guests that usually feel this first. I missed that punchline. Now, why
Oh,
should
sorry. Did I distract
I
you?
missed it. That's okay.
I apologize.
Why this also matters to servers?
My bad, guys.
It changes tips expectations, right? From included, so it's from individual tips to pool tips. So it's good to know that not only that is how these restaurants operate, but also how your restaurant might be operating one day. Because again, we're setting up the norm in these restaurants. That's what's going on.
Right.
And finally, they will redefine what good money looks like on paper versus on your pocket. And why do we go into that? Because again, it's about tips versus service charges.
Right.
And if you're working in a restaurant where
Right.
you're constantly getting tipped because there's no service charge, that's more money in your pocket. If you work in a restaurant that has service charges,
Right.
that's more money on
I know for a fact.
not in your pocket.
I know for a fact that the people at Delilah don't make really good money. I know that for a fact.
Yep.
I know for a fact that people at Pastis don't make fantastic money. And all these restaurants on the list. That's all bullshit.
Yeah. In fact, we're just going to jump in and I'm going to add this here just so that we can show the highest grossing. I want to show you this one right here. Number 1, Mila, $51 million. Average check of $188 and meal served $271,000. Now,
Yo, look at the boathouse though. You go back to the boathouse.
correct, Boathouse,
$51
$51 average checks.
$51 average check. Almost a million meals served.
Yeah.
This is basically fucking the McDonald's version of a fucking restaurant.
That's in Orlando.
These motherfuckers
So-
sell so much cheap shit here. That is crazy.
Yeah.
You gotta be kidding me, bro.
But if you go down this list, you'll find some that, for example, Delilah Las Vegas, you see that they have 40 million and 180. That's clearly serve reported. You can call that
a
out as you-
$225 check average.
Exactly.
don't
Now,
think so.
going from, just to make sure, number 100 coming in at 11 million, pretty penny. And then top one, 51 million. Now, something that I want to mention, since both of us know people that work in Mila or worked in Mila, and we'll tell you as well that these numbers as well, again, it's everything that the restaurant made. Mila has 4 bars and 3 dining rooms. 4 if you count the outside being a different one. So it's a huge operation.
Yeah.
Right? So just because you may work in one of these places doesn't necessarily mean that you're breaking bank.
I heard
You're
this. I
doing
heard
well.
the sushi. I heard the sushi is good at Mila, but everything I've had there is mediocre.
I threw my cousin. It was pretty good.
There you go.
Yeah. But pricey as hell, though.
There you go. I better
All
be.
right. Now I just want to close that out and go into your topic. Well, before we do that, I wanted to mention, the other day, Ed and I, we went to one of our favorite ice cream places, Salt and Straw.
Isabel.
And somebody got, kind of recognized us. So we want
I was
to
gonna give a shout out to Isabel.
Yeah, baby. From
Salt and Straw. What a sweetheart.
what was she from? Louisiana or Alabama?
She was from Louisiana.
Louisiana.
You thought she was from like
Bringing-
Amsterdam or some
No,
shit.
no. I heard New Zealand.
New Zealand.
But anyway, she's bringing that Southern comfort to Salt
Such
and
a
Straw.
sweet girl.
We appreciate you.
Thank you
giving
for the
love.
ice cream,
Thank you so
Isabel.
much.
Appreciate you.
All right, now
You know what I want to talk about?
go for it.
I've worked at a lot of fucking jobs. I've said this before. And being the new person at a job, I know what it feels like to be received in different ways. I know what it feels like to be the new guy at a job and be treated warmly by everybody.
Yeah.
And I know the flip side of that. I know what it feels like to be treated like shit. And since it's such a terrible feeling, I always said to myself, should I establish myself at a restaurant? Anytime someone's new, let me remember those lessons and greet them warmly because I know what it feels like to be treated poorly. I say all that to say that I don't feel that way anymore.
I was like, oh
I
my
don't-
God, 3 others how you want to be treated.
I don't-
That is so beautiful.
I don't
Are you
feel-
growing? Are we having a moment?
I don't feel that way anymore. But I'll tell you why. So the average turnover in our industry, for anyone who doesn't understand how often someone gets replaced or fired and someone new comes in the normal industry, to be considered normal or low turnover, it's anywhere from 10% down. That's normal turnover in an industry. In our industry, hospitality, it's anywhere up to 50%. We have an extremely high turnover. So eventually what I realize is I have very limited bandwidth left in me. I have very limited capacity to have patience and like grace for people. So I have like an unwritten rule in me, which is when you come to work in my restaurant and you're new, I'm cold with you. I'm cold. I'm not disrespectful. I'm not mean. I'm just not, initiating conversation and getting to know you. Yeah. Because from what I've seen at my restaurant, there's people who are new are gone within 3 months. Why the fuck should I waste my time getting to know you when you're going to be gone in less than a year?
Yeah. Ask you what's your favorite food? Would you like to go?
Yeah. Well, why am I going to waste my time learning anything about you when you're going to be gone? When I'm going to turn around one day, you're going to be gone. Yeah. I feel like, and I rolled into this naturally. Until you've been working at my job for like a year, I don't even talk to you. I don't talk to you. And this is more evident with like, hostesses. Hostesses. Yo, there's only one hostess left at my job. Our hostess full crew should be like 5 girls. There's one fucking hostess left at my job. Why the fuck am I going to get to know these hoes when they're gone so quickly? You explain that to me. Well, explain it to me.
And hoes, that's different.
Did I say hoes or did I say hosts?
And hostess, that's different because I guess it's...
What did I say?
It's a man and a female, but
What did I say?
You said hostess. Host. It's fine. I think
I said host.
I met one person...
There's no point getting to know these chicks, bro. Or people in general.
Restaurant, sorry, I'm going to try it. I had this one person that when that person came in at the restaurant, because I was a trainer, that person did not last 1 year. However...
You talking about me?
You
talking about me?
We did become pretty close friends.
But, so what Adrian's referring to is...
I just wanted to throw that out there.
Well, this is the thing. Everybody's different.
But hostesses, I get it. It's different.
Everybody is different.
Got ladies.
Everybody is different, okay? You have a sunny disposition. You're like the fucking golden child. And I'm like fucking Voldemort. Like, I don't care about people the same way you do.
Of course.
Okay? Yeah, but you also have to remember is that restaurant that you and I met at sucked.
It was a different time.
Sucked. At that point. Not when you started working there, but when I started working there, that restaurant was in its decline.
It was.
So who cares is what I'm saying. The fact that you and I connected, listen, because it's like, these are the rules that I live by. But people are people. Yeah. Energy is energy.
Of course.
Sometimes you meet people. How could you explain meeting somebody and that person has done nothing bad to you and you say, I feel like punching this person in the face? It's a real thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes you meet people. Sometimes somebody will come into the restaurant and they'll be new and I'll be like, what? I don't care. But they'll just be lovely and they'll have great energy and then I'll grow attached to them. But honestly, I don't see the need. Like you and I are very different people.
I respect that.
I just don't have the I have barely enough bandwidth to deal with guests. Everything that I have at this point, I have to reserve for guests.
Well, I will share one thing that I do have an issue with. Because of my predisposition to meet everybody, I tend to not remember the names until they meet that threshold of time that you mentioned.
So you agree?
No. So,
in your own way.
In my own way. I'm just saying that even in my predisposition, I care about these people. But some people I don't even know the names to.
Speaking of which, hold on. Let me give a shout out to the birds right here. You see this? My Eagles, NFC North champs. 3 games. We lost 3 games in a row. It got a little shaky, but my boys made it.
Yeah.
You don't understand.
I mean, no.
No, it's not like
the
San Juan San Juan Coquitos didn't play in the NFL this year. I'm sorry. Sorry, everybody. I apologize.
Yeah, that's not for us. That's not for us. Now, next topic.
Go ahead.
Now, let's move into, is a service charge a tip or a fee? What do you think? What do you think?
I say there's a lot of cheap people out there.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm. I'm jumping ahead, but go ahead.
Well, go ahead. I'll give you the difference. A tip is voluntarily. It goes to your server. is targeted. And a service charge is mandatory. It belongs to the restaurant. They decide how they want to divide that among servers, among front of the house, hostesses are there. In certain restaurants, managers are there, kitchen staff is there. In some restaurants, they might even have breakers there and a bunch of other things. Anyone who needs to listen to this, service charge does not go to your server. It goes to the house. If you tip, which again, voluntarily, that goes to your server.
It doesn't make any sense. Mathematically, it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
You could see a service charge of $1,000, and that's one table.
Yeah.
That's an expensive table.
Yeah.
One table, $1,000.
Yeah.
Do you really fucking think that service charge goes to your server?
Right?
What sense would that make? Yo, if my service charges went solely to me, I'd be a multimillionaire right now. I'd be a multimillionaire. What fucking sense does that make? An average, a busy restaurant, high end, Miami. Let's say you have a busy section. I tend to work. Our sections are different every night. Some sections have multiple smaller tables. Some sections have fewer but larger tables. Let's say I have a night where I work a section with large tables, fewer large tables. Let's say I have 6 large parties on a given night. All right, let's do the math. Let's pull out the iPhone.
Go for it.
All right, let's say the average service charge on these checks. Let's say the average check in my restaurant for a table of 10 people would probably be somewhere around, what'd you say, like 6, 5, 6, let's call it $5,000.
Yeah.
Let's call it $6,000. Okay. 20% of that, which is the service charge that we charge in the restaurant, would be $1,200. Multiply that by, let's call it 4 tables, $4,800. So you think, genius, that I make an average of $4,000 a night because the service charge on those checks goes to me? What the fuck are you thinking? What are people thinking? Mathematically, it makes no sense. Why would anybody be anything other than a server if that were true?
Right.
Why would there be why would there be doctors or engineers or anything?
Yeah.
Why would you be an astronaut if you could make $5,000 a night working 30 hours a week, training for 3 weeks? Why would you do anything else?
Right. So
It doesn't make any sense.
bottom line, a tip is gratitude. A service charge is policy.
Hey, yo, listen.
I wanted to go ahead.
I'll tell you what really happens. What really happens is people are cheap.
Yeah.
People are just cheap.
Or they're going through situations.
No. If you're going through situations, don't go to the fucking restaurant. If you're having money situations, which happens, don't show up to the restaurant. If I can't afford to tip, I don't eat. If I can't afford to tip, that means I can't afford to eat out. And I make much less money than all of these fucking wannabes in Miami. Okay? Much less money. And I tip better than a lot of these people. And that makes me sick. That makes me a little sick.
I said, somebody says, first of all, I confuse the service charge. You're referring to the gratuity added in the bill. Correct. In many places, it can be service charge. It can be house fee. It has many names. But the point is, it is a house doing a mandatory fee to pay their staff appropriately. And you know what's funny? You were mentioning the people that were sheep. And this is what they wanted. Yeah. They were all, correct me if I'm wrong, if they were not saying tipping should be optional, right? And I'll tell you another one. Restaurant owners should pay their staff a fair living wage. You asked, and the restaurant industry responded. Wow. There you go. Now, again, this is breaking down between everyone in that restaurant. Okay. And now we're all getting that fair wage that you've been wanting so much. And now, again, tipping is, again, optional. If you go to a restaurant and you only have a little bit here and there, and you know what you're going to get, and you pay the service charge, and you don't want to tip additional,
That's
up
fine.
to you. That's
No
fine.
problem.
That is why we incorporated
No
in
problem.
these restaurants, again, as we spoke, high quality, the restaurants that make the
No
most money
problem,
and
bro.
set the standards to follow. Most of these restaurants were visited constantly by people who are from overseas. And if you work in the industry, anyone from overseas rarely tips.
Yeah, you European motherfuckers don't tip.
And again, they just pay for the wicked.
You fuckers don't tip, bro.
That's how it is. So
You
now
don't
everybody
tip.
gets a 20% or 18%,
You
depending
don't
on the
tip.
house charge. That house decides that. We don't decide that. The house, the restaurants, and they all decide how they want to go about that.
It doesn't make sense to me, bro.
In some restaurants, there's even rumors that the owners are getting a percentage out of the house pool. So you
could do-
take those
the
numbers
restaurant can
and
do-
a percentage and put it there. We have no idea where that
The
goes.
restaurant
but
can
that's
do
how it
whatever
is.
they want with the service charge. But it bothers me because people don't like to assimilate. People don't like to assimilate, right? There's this whole thing like,
Montrealers don't tip. No, as soon as you say you're from Canada, Montreal, anywhere above that line,
Nah, you guys
you
don't
don't tip. You don't tip.
right? You go to Italy and you ask for a cappuccino after breakfast time and it's like taboo.
Yeah, they look at you like, what is wrong with this
I
guy?
can't order a cappuccino. But you fucking Italians come to Miami and you don't tip.
They don't tip.
You don't tip. You still act like you're back in Italy. I think you should act like you're in Miami. I go to Italy, I'll act like I'm in Italy. You come to Miami, act like you're fucking in Miami. That's all I'm saying. Let me ask you a question. Let's get spicy here. You ready for this?
Yeah, go for it.
Have you ever forged a tip on a check?
What do you mean forced?
Have you ever yourself?
I did in a Alaska job. Yeah. And because of that, I never done it again, and that's it. Yep.
So there's sometimes there's discrepancies, okay?
A long time.
Sometimes there's discrepancies. Sometimes people will fill out a tip and the math won't math.
And that is exactly what happened to me.
The math won't math. So the check will be $100 and in the total line, that person will write 300. But in the tip line, it'll be squiggled and you might see
Squiggly,
a 5. You don't know what you see.
Correct.
So sometimes in cases like that, you say to yourself, okay, what am I going to do here?
Yeah.
In cases like that, it all depends. It all depends.
Well, I'll tell you exactly what, because that's kind of what happened to me. I had this guess. And the where I fucked up is because
People have gotten fired for that before.
people had gotten fired for that. And this company that I used to work at that time, and they took it hard. The guess did a squiggly, and then I submitted it, and that was it.
That was some pussy shit, though.
However, now
That was some pussy shit.
I will share this with you. This is what I do now, and I've never had that issue again. Guests leave wrong numbers all the time on the checks. They do squigglies, they do wrong math. It always happens. What I do, go to your manager, show them the check, and be like, what number you want me to go by? That's it. If you're smart, you know what manager you're going to ask. Because some managers will say, you go by the total. And some managers will say, you go by what the squiggly line meant to be.
I
So
go
that is up
by-
to you.
I
The
go
point
by
is,
whichever one
before you
benefits me
submit
more.
that, go to a manager, make sure they see it. And if someone's going to be fired, it'd probably be about the two of you.
Just be smart, man. Just be smart. I got a coworker of mine, ex-coworker, got fired because he did some crazy shit. He did some crazy shit. He put like 1,000 over, and that's
That was
crazy.
ridiculous.
That's
That's
just insane. That's just really dumb. I mean, it feels really, really sexy at the moment, but then all of a sudden you lose a good job and you realize that $1,000 is nothing.
Nothing.
Compared to earning well throughout the whole year.
Correct.
So what I do is I do whatever's in my benefit. I don't add additional numbers. I don't add additional numbers. I just listen. If the number at the bottom is better for me, I put that number. If the number in your math is better for me, I put that number. I mean, they're both right. I'll never sign on a person's check. Never.
No.
But if I see whatever number is more beneficial to me is the number that I pick.
There you go. Yeah, maybe that's your manager, just in case. Now,
That's
I want to
it
read
for
some
me,
stuff
bro.
here. 15% they think is generous. Yeah, that's true. Dominicans don't tip either.
No, they don't.
They don't. And Puerto Ricans, they like tipping 15%. Añádale 15.
No, they don't. And they say that with like big dog.
Yeah, añádale 15.
Put 15 on there. Put 15 on there.
I do want to bring a brighter side of what service charge does to your restaurant. Have you ever been in a restaurant? As soon as you walk in, somebody who's weeded or busy is like, yeah, sit wherever you want, or sit there. They sit you in a table that's all dirty, all messed up. No one received you, and then you know that one person is busy because you see him or her doing 1,000 things, and you're gonna have to wait for that person to show up after he or she is finishing doing everything that they're doing.
Yeah.
For you to order your drink or order your food or anything that you might need. Here's where service charge comes, because service charge encourages a pull system.
Camaraderie.
Exactly. As soon as you walk in, now we can pay hostesses, even though we only have one. We can pay hostesses so that they receive you with a beautiful smile and they walk you to the table.
Our hostess can do whatever she wants right now.
Right now, she can do whatever she wants.
She can do whatever she wants.
Go for it, girl. Now, as soon
Whatever
as you see
she
it again,
wants.
you also have a server. You might have an assistant. You have multiple people that go to your table. Another thing that might happen, your server might be busy. But you know what? Someone else is going to notice that you're and be like, how can I help you?
On a good team.
Can I exactly
On a good team.
Now you go to a place that has no service charge. It's every man or woman for themselves.
It's a shark pool.
We've spoken about that because there's other restaurants that actually were in this list that before did not have service charge and they did not have that camaraderie. I had a coworker who was telling me about a previous job that he had where everybody was out for their own.
Yeah.
Now the only thing that he could do was he had a couple of other coworkers that they got along and they say, hey, let's help each other out. So if I'm not here, we can do something and pull.
Right.
But the problem is that restaurants are big. And if I'm set up here and you're over there, no one can help you. Right. So again,
we got
you want better service. You want to be treated like a king or queen or royalty or right. The hierarchy.
Yeah.
You got to pay.
We got a better team where we work, we have a good team and we take care of each other.
In the end, service charge is guaranteed revenue. It's what you ask for. Tipping, back to being optional. And pay, structured, not emotional. You want a tipping to be optional? This is what optional looks like.
Yeah.
And you wanted to go for it? One more. You want something more now?
Yeah. So I was having a drink after work and a coworker of mine came into the bar.
Yeah.
Accompanied by someone. And that person was a liquor rep.
Oh.
And me in my infinite politeness, I said, that liquor sucks. It's really bad, you know? And they were like, and they started to spiel me. No, we don't have any additives. It's like really organic. I was like, well, that's the problem. I think you should add stuff to it. That's the reason it's so bad.
Okay.
And it got me thinking. First of all, how delusional these people are. If you're working, and I have a lot of friends who do the liquor rep, wine rep thing, and I mean no disrespect to those people. Make your money, earn your living. You know, I wish you the best. But how meaningful have you felt liquor trainings have been?
It's more of a, hey, push this. It's fantastic. But it's not like you taste it and you're like, man, people are going to love this.
Exactly. So
it's more like sell it.
So here's what happens, right? With people who don't understand, right? So a liquor rep will work for a company. That liquor company is in the restaurant now. Because they want to ensure that the staff at that restaurant sells the liquor correctly, they will send a rep to do a training, usually an hour before your shift starts, and they'll talk about the liquor. Oh, this liquor. And they'll try to convince you how that liquor is different than all of the millions of other fucking things that are on the market. Big reveal, nothing is. Nothing is, because anything that is different enough, that's actually different, is not going to be sold by a big conglomerate. And even if it is, it's something that they don't have in restaurants. They have it at like cocktail bars and stuff like that. So I mean specifically for restaurants. Liquor trainings are useless. Useless. Wine trainings, more useful, but still in the realm of useless. Because I've learned that people don't buy alcohol. They don't buy wine. They buy stories.
Yeah.
People buy stories.
And sometimes words.
They don't need. Listen, first of all, okay, I'll give you two different guests. There's a guest who knows nothing about wine. You can tell that person anything. As long as you come with confidence, you could say anything.
And charisma.
And charisma. You could say anything to a person who knows nothing about wine. And if you do it well, they will believe you and they will buy the wine. And it's not like, oh, what are you doing? You're tricking people. No, because I'm not changing the price of the wine. You see the price there, it's labeled. If initially this wine is out of your price range or you don't feel like spending this much money on wine tonight, there's nothing I can say to make you buy the wine. But if you just need that little charismatic push, I could fucking say anything to you. If you're not familiar with the wine, which objectively, all my service people out there, it's not necessarily the smartest thing, because they always say you never know who you're talking to. One time I spieled somebody who I thought knew nothing about a wine, and it turns out that person was the owner of the vineyard. And you think I might have learned my lesson, but I didn't.
No. I'm sure
I didn't learn my lesson. So you could say anything to someone who knows nothing about wine, as long as you sell them a good story. Tell them a good story and make them feel comfortable and make them feel passionate about it. You could say anything. Some of the words I like to use are, first growth. No, not first growth. That's too big. I'll say single vineyard. Yeah. People love that single vineyard shit.
There's
single vineyard everything.
But not just that. There's some words
Spicy,
that just sell anything.
Sexy words
To say anything. I went to a coworker the other day to ask him, because he was selling a lot of this dish that I haven't sold. So I went and asked him, and like, what are you telling people? What are you telling? What do you do?
It's
and you
all
know
about
what he
the
told
stories,
me?
man.
No. He just added to the title of power. He called it the blank tower of power. And people were like, what?
I like it.
It just intrigued them. And I'm like, is that how you sold so much of them?
People buy stories,
Tower of
man.
power.
You could say anything. I remember I was talking to this guy about wine, and he was like, I'm not familiar with this. And I was like, well, get ready for this, motherfucker. I was like, it's single vineyard. I was like, the mountain that these vines are on, when the sun, hold on, bro. When the sun goes over the cap, the first vines that are touched by light are these particular vines. Trust me. Listen, if you don't want it, I'll drink it. And they go, yeah, give me a bottle of that. I didn't know anything about this fucking wine. No. But it's all about the story.
No, I was like, I remember we used to sell this wine.
It's all about the story.
It's in a hill overlooking the water. In the morning, it receives this morning fog that just gives the grapes this strawberry-like jammy texture and flavor, and it's just absolutely mind-boggling.
There's a bottle of wine. There's a bottle of wine called Mascot, which is part of the Harlan estate family. I don't want to get too geeky, but it has a dog on it. Someone asked me, why is there a dog on this bottle? And I said, well, obviously, that is the dog of the owner's great-great-granddaughter who died, and they named the whole vineyard after it. And I didn't remember what I said, but
it was
whatever.
After he saved the family from like a storm, and
whatever.
He dived into the water and saved the
whatever.
grandpa. You know,
this guy,
was nice.
This guy, the guy that I said the story about the fucking sun hitting the vines. When he was tasting his wine, I said, "Do you taste that? There's a little orange peel on there. That's because in front of that vineyard, there's an orange vineyard, and trucks drive past it, and the zest from the trucks permeates the soil."
Yeah,
I don't fucking remember. I said something like that.
Or the pollen from the bees,
right? So people just buy stories. So
or in the end, you can just say that dog. That's the mighty dog of
you
power.
gotta use the mighty dog of power. You gotta use this one now, though. Check this out. So I Googled ridiculous things that servers might say to sell wine. Whatever.
Thank you.
Right? Ridiculous things servers might say to sell wine. And these really cool things came up.
Go for it.
So you attribute the notes of wine. You could say, this wine has notes of rebellion.
I'm going to use that one.
You better. Check this out.
Notes of rebellion.
Check this out. This Bordeaux whispers secrets of old world aristocracy. That's beautiful, bro. That's beautiful. Check this one out.
Hints of aristocracy.
Check this one out. This Pinot Noir isn't just wine. It's a hug from a French grandmother. Sold, bro. Whatever it is, it's sold. So that's my point, right? I'm looking at this liquor rep, and I'm like, you're delusional. And how useful are you really? Like, wines are very romantic. So I think that they can be sold with this kind of vibe. But liquors are things that sell themselves. Like liquors have the best margins in the restaurant. Liquor doesn't need help. We don't need people to come in and train us on alcohol. Give us a pamphlet, we'll pretend to read it, and we will be just as informed. If you want to come in and waste your booze and let us drink, no problem. But honestly, I think liquor reps are absolutely useless. Like, a lot of people don't know, like,
I think that's one of those jobs going to be replaced by AI soon then.
I hope it does.
Probably.
I hope it does. I hope the people who are all liquor reps now find suitable replacement jobs and still live a good life. But I hope that job is replaced completely. Because it's like, a lot of people don't know, a bar can go to a company like Southern and be like, oh, we only want Grey Goose. Southern will be like, okay, you only want Grey Goose? Well, it's going to cost this much, right? I will charge you this much for Grey Goose if, along with that Grey Goose, you also buy this gin, this tequila, this thing, this salt and pepper vinegar vodka, this weird cream spinach flavored liqueur, and then you could get it as a bundle. So you can't romanticize these liquors. Like the only reason I see for a use for liquor reps is for bars. Not restaurants, like a craft bar, a cocktail bar. You want to go to a cocktail bar, you want to be like, holy shit, what is that? Let me get that.
Yeah.
There's a corn liquor. I forget what it's called. Try spieling corn liquor in our restaurant. To who? Who are you going to sell corn liquor to? There's corn. I have corn liquor. Who the fuck cares? Let me get a vodka soda. Let me get an espresso martini. Let me get a bottle of wine. But at a cocktail bar, you get all the corn liquors you want. So I was looking at this liquor rep and I was like, you're absolutely delusional.
Yeah.
And it's okay if you're doing this for work, but don't sell me on it because I'm not buying it.
Yeah.
I think your tequila sucks. Yeah. And I'm not going to say the name of the tequila because who knows, they might be a sponsorship in the future. Who knows?
Yeah. Be like,
I'm not going to shoot myself in the foot. Or as Adrian says, shoot myself in the leg. That's all I got for that.
No, that's true. And also notice that those bottles never make your top three. What I mean by your top three, if someone asks you, oh, I want to do a lemon drop, and you ask them, well, what vodka you want to do? You want to do A, B, or C, right? And usually, what are your A, B, and C's? Which is like, everybody knows those.
Right.
Grey Goose, Ketel One, Belvedere. Something along the lines of that, right?
Tito's.
That's like, everybody knows, Tito's, Belvedere, Ketel One, right? You want to do, or Grey Goose, Ketel One. Something along those lines where people are like, yeah.
The way liquor.
Everybody does drink one of those three. If somebody wants tequila, they want either Don Julio, Casamigo, or Patron. That's usually what they drink.
The way liquor, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Want to have something a little bit over than that. Mm-hmm. And then for that, you want to have also, again, three things. Because some guests, they want to have tequila, but they want to have something different, but they don't want to pay too much, but they don't want to get the same thing. So you should have two or three more in the back of your head where you're like, okay, this one's going to be the low end, but it's different. This is going to be the mid end. It's different, but you're going to have to pay for it. And this is the expensive one, which is going to cost you. Usually, some guys either will shoot the short end one or they'll pick one of the three that you originally said.
Yeah. I feel like these liquor companies feel like doing these trainings reinforces their product in the restaurant. But the truth is, it doesn't really do that. Most of the liquor sales from that liquor, like Casamigos doesn't do training. When's the last time you did a Casamigos training? Casamigos doesn't do training.
No.
They're at the top. However you feel about Casamigos,
yeah, like the top camera
is up to you. But they don't. I've never done a Casamigos training. I think I've done one Don Julio training in my entire life. Right? Those people don't need it because they've done all of their money in marketing. So these companies that are trying to get into the industry, you're not going to sell more bottles of your tequila by training the staff to do it. You're going to annoy the staff. The way you're going to make more money is by investing in marketing. Yeah. 100 restaurants selling your stuff is not going to get you to the next level. You're going to get to the next level by spending millions of dollars on marketing, like Casamigos did.
And even worse, when in your restaurant they're like, we have this new cocktail with this alcohol.
That's how most of it goes. What is
that? I'm like, it's because they probably made some deal with the owner.
That's exactly the way that works.
And now you suddenly have this alcohol that as soon as somebody sees it on the menu, they're like, what is this shit?
Right.
Can I change that for something else?
Liquor reps will come into a restaurant to eat.
When it comes to hard liquor, people usually know what they want.
Yeah.
When it comes to wine, that's an opportunity, like you said, to be a little
Well,
more
like
romantic.
I said, no. What I forgot to say exactly. The other wine drinker, just to go back very quickly, is the person who knows what they want. And you can't bullshit them, and they don't get sold to. They just order what they want. So I don't really get it. Like people try to romanticize liquors with all this training and all this bullshit, but it's pointless because that liquor rep is doing nothing. Your liquor is already in the building. We use it for a cocktail because we have a deal with your distributor and our owners or whatever, man. It's just have you seen my face during liquor trainings, bro? I'm just like, what the fuck am I doing? Why did I come to work an hour early for this shit? Why? I don't understand.
Mandatory. There you go. Sir, last words?
That's it for me, brother.
Well, let's see what you guys have to say. You got to put a Miami twist to it. To like the wines. A good thing we don't sell Miami wine. We don't.
I'm not sure.
I mean, in Florida, there's a winery though. There's one winery, but it's like.
What do you mean a winery?
Yeah, there's a winery here in Florida, no?
There's plenty of wineries in Florida.
Plenty of wineries here. Yeah.
You mean like a winery
Like a
that
wine,
makes wine and produces it?
Yeah.
Not that I'm aware of. Unless there's a Chardonnay from the Everglades or something.
Well, look for that. Let us know.
I don't know.
Yeah, Everglades Chardonnay. You never had that? Oh my God. No. The Everglades Chardonnay of power.
You need this Chardonnay.
You need the Chardonnay. So that leaves us again with the tip. Why it matters over a service charge is spread out. A tip is targeted. Service charge, they fuel the system. A tip rewards the individual. So service charge, baseline. Tip, recognition. Again, you bought this on yourself to just pay for the wicked, and you don't seem like you tip, then we'll put it on the pool because we know when you arrive, we're like, oh, this person's not really gonna help me. So to the pool it is. Again, it's what you created. Now more than ever, if we don't play for your side, we play for the restaurant side because that was the deal that the restaurant did. They said, well, how are we gonna pay them? Well, we'll do a percentage. And they're going to be more inclined to sell and to push. So if we see that you're not nice, we might just push a lot more things into you. Be ready to say no a lot more. Finally, the service charge keeps the lights on and keeps the machine running. The tip tells your server they mattered and that the service was exceptional. The only way to show that clearly is with a tip. Happy holidays, and thank you for listening.
Take care, everybody. Go Birds. Booby, 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 booby. Go Birds, go Birds.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe.